Right, so you've got electric hookup to your van, you've looked at the microwave, you've checked that the power is connected properly. Now it's time to look at the master control panel. On here you'll see there's a series of buttons and a gauge. The first thing you need to do is switch the master on. For that, simply press the button. You can see at the top is a gauge. It reads two different things. Currently it's giving you a leisure battery reading, which, because we've got electric hookup, is 14, which is right. Should that drop down to anywhere near 12, it indicates that the van needs to be driven somewhere to recharge its batteries. If you've got electric hookup, you don't need to worry about this. This only comes into play if you happen to be wild camping. Underneath, at the bottom of the gauge, you'll see the word water. If you press the button directly underneath and hold it down, the needle will move, and it gives you an indication of the amount of water you've currently got on board. Once a day, it's worth pressing this button because it's much easier to keep the van filled with water than it is to have to pull water through if you run out completely. To the side of it, you'll see a little red button, red light. This will come on if the wastewater, so that's the grey tap, needs to be emptied. On here, you've also got lights. Obviously, the lights turn on. There's various light switches throughout the van. You've also got awning. This is talking about an awning light, so if you switch that on, it means that if you go out at night and come back to the van, you'll have a light so you can see how to unlock. And then finally we've got pump. Now the pump must be switched on in order for the taps and toilet to work. First of all, check that you've got enough water on board. If you turn the pump on without water, you run the risk of damaging the pump, which is a very expensive repair. And then switch it on. If it's been switched on recently, it won't make a noise. If it's got to pressurise, you'll hear it will be noisy for sort of 30 seconds or so. So at this point, you're in the position that you can turn the taps on or flush to the toilet. If we move slightly further down, we've got the whale heating. Now the whale heating is actually remarkably straightforward to use. You can see it currently says off. To operate the water heater, you press the little tap symbol and then you scroll across and it gives you various different options. If you've got electric hookup, press the button until you see the double wave. In order to heat the water, you simply have to get it to that stage and the water will start to heat using the electric. If you don't have electric hookup, you have to press the button through and scroll to the flame. That will then use the gas on board to start heating the water. The water takes approximately 20 minutes to heat, so it's advisable that you switch this on just before you need it. It's not a good idea to leave the water heater running all the time, and certainly if you're leaving the van, the water, the heating and the pump must not be left switched on. When you've finished, you simply rotate it round until it reads off again and it's ready. The heating is very similar. It's the camper van symbol for the heating. You press the button and you scroll it across to the source that you want to heat it by. If you've got electric hookup, this time you want to wait until you've got 3 waves, will give you the most efficient output. If you've got gas, press it again until you get to the gas flame. In extremely cold weather, you can run it off gas and electric, which will give you the best power output. But for today, I'm going to leave it on electric hookup, which is a triple wave. Once you've got to that stage, you simply use the plus and the minuses to dictate how much power you want the heating to have, or how much you want the heating on. You can probably hear now on the video that the heating has just kicked in. It's air blown and very efficient and very easy to control. So you simply rotate up or down depending on personal preference. When you've finished, or if you're leaving the van, again, just rotate it round to off. If you're going out and you want to switch the master control panel off but you've been running the heating or the hot water, please switch these off, get everything else ready, waiting 2 or 3 minutes before you then switch the master off, because it just allows everything to cool down. So that's heating and hot water. I hope this is clear. Please remember, if you get stuck, all our vans have got instruction manuals in and we're always just at the end of the phone.